welcome back to my channel, and today I'm finally bringing you guys an updated foundation routine. You guys have been so patient. I haven't done a foundation routine in about almost 2 years, and although not much has changed, the technique is still there, but I do have some game-changing products that I would love to share with you guys. So when you see me zoom in and I pause, get your pen and paper, get your phone out, your notes, screenshot, because I want you guys to go and grab these things that I feel make my foundation routine like no other. So if you haven't already joined the Jasmine Mitchell family, hit that subscribe button, and when you're done watching, drop a comment below. Is there something new you learned? Is there a technique that you were like, whoa, like where'd you get that from? Or is there a product that you already have that you're like, yes girl, let me know if you can relate, if you learn. And without further ado, let's get started.
Alright guys, so we're going to start with skin prep. My skin has already been moisturized, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go into priming with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I've been using it for about 6 months now and I love it. I got a pro tip from my esthetician. Once you apply it in circular motions and pat and press when it's tacky, you're going to let the product settle for about 5 minutes. This allows the primer to get into the pores and do its job. Let that primer set for 5 minutes before you go and add your next product. So for my foundation, I'm going to take the OMGLO Glow Serum in Sugar, and this stuff smells so good. It has a great consistency to mix with my foundation, and it has finely milled pigments to give you that fresh glow from within. I'm going to mix that with my foundation combination. I'm currently using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear in New Caledonia and the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Hazelnut. So I'm going to mix the serum with the foundation for a very luminous, fresh, healthy glow. I'm going to press this into the skin with a damp Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I use the body version, so it's bigger. It covers a bigger area of my face faster. And I really like this sponge better than the Beauty Blender. So I'm just gonna blend, press that product into the skin. Make sure that everything is blended before I move on to my concealer. For concealer, this process is very important in framing the face and how your makeup will turn out. So make sure that you know your face when you start to highlight. You're gonna wanna know where to start and stop the concealer. It's key, so get to know your face. How I contour and highlight in my face is gonna be different from how you highlight and contour your face. So get to know your face. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear in the shade Honey. I like this concealer because it has a medium to thick consistency. It's full coverage, but a natural finish, and a little goes a long way. So before I blend out my concealer, I'm going to spray my face with the Heritage Store Rosewater Glycerin spray. This is going to give me extra moisture and slip for even easier blending. And the glycerin also gives a nice glow to the skin. I even wear this spray on its own without makeup. And if you don't have the Rosewater and Glycerin spray, you can use Max Fix Plus, regular Rosewater, or find yourself a glycerin spray. So I'm going to use a flat foundation brush to lay and press the product into the skin. You don't want to drag the foundation across with a brush. You want to pat and press for your maximum coverage. And it's so important to know your face, guys. For example, when I do my concealer under my eyes, I don't bring the concealer past my brow tail, and I don't bring it below where my nostrils begin. This is just all about knowing your face and what's going to look complementary to your face. So how I blend is the first to crease gets blended last. I started on my forehead, down to my nose, onto my chin, and lastly underneath my eyes. And I start outward, working inward, like outward on my cheek into my eyes. Why? You got it. Because remember, whatever creases first is what gets blended last. So I'm going in the inner corners of my under eye highlight and pressing the product into my skin and adding product to my eyes. And I'm using the blender to further blend. The key here is to take your time, guys. Check your angles, every part of this process. When you've applied your foundation, your concealer, and contour, every stage needs to be blended so that when you have finished product, it's just bomb and seamless. So for contour, I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution concealer in the darkest shade. I believe it's C18. I like the formula as a great price point, and it's an easy application with that applicator brush. So I'm going into the normal areas, my cheekbones, jawline, forehead, perimeter, and what I call the trunk of my nose. I don't do a nose contour because it's not necessary, but I like to do the trunk like between my eyebrows. I'm just taking a smaller Real Techniques Miracle Sponge and making sure it's damp, and I'm just going to press it into the skin. Make sure that I bring my cheekbone contour up. I don't blend down, always blend up. And then I blend at the base of my nose or the trunk of my nose down into the nostril, but not too much because I don't want to contour my nose. Make sure everything's blended, guys. Take your time. As you do this more often, you will get faster, but take your time if you really want to learn how to get a flawless face. Moving on to one of the most important steps of my makeup application. I learned this from Mr. Sam Fine. You're gonna take a 2-ply facial tissue, tear it in half, and press out the excess oil and product before you set your face with powder. This ensures that you have less creasing because there's less product and oil, so your product won't move around. And then you're gonna have your makeup look like skin because everything is pressed out. What needs to be there is there because you've pressed out everything that doesn't need to be there. So you have to do this. I always do this. My makeup never feels cakey. Sometimes I forget that I have makeup on when I wear makeup, and you're going to look natural. Yes, you have makeup on, but your face is just going to look flawless and natural. And when I do this, I start where I crease first. So under the eye, around the nose, all the high points. Once I've pressed out the excess, I'm going to set with a dome-shaped brush. Mine is the e.l.f. highlighting brush, I believe. I'm gonna press the black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Powder into my skin. I've been using this powder for almost 10 years. I love it. It has no flashback. It's translucent. It's not heavy or cakey, and it has a natural, flawless finish. So I'm gonna press that into the skin, starting where you'd crease first. So start under those eyes and get into the T-zones. And once you've done the T-zone and where you get oily first, you're going to dust lightly around the other areas. This ensures that you're not so cakey all over your face and you don't get that powdery look. It just leaves some of that luminosity and lets that luminosity shine through. So I use a combination of a few different powders for my contour process. My main concern is that I want my powders to be dark enough and have a bit of shimmer so that I get a nice glow. And with the lip bars, Fresh Glow in the two darkest shades, Double Date and Staycation, I get just that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So pretty. With the second darkest shade, Double Date, I take a small tapered brush and just follow along where I cream contoured. After I do that, I blend a bit, and then I go in with a smaller tapered brush with Staycation, the darkest shade, and I go into my forehead, the smallest hollows of my cheeks so I don't look beat up, and under my chin. I use a small brush so I don't have a big wash of dark brown on my face. It's very, very specific in where this is going. Sometimes I've gotten too carried away with this and looked crazy, so just be careful with these dark contour powders. And you're gonna blend after each application. Word of the day is blend, y'all. Then for my nose, I'm gonna take a small taper brush and go into the trunks of my nose, and I'm gonna bring it down slightly. I don't really wanna contour my nose. I just wanna add a shape. So my favorite for a while has been orange blush for brown skin, so that's what I'm using. Orange blush gives brown skin a really healthy, fresh glow. And if you add too much like I did, you're going to take your powder brush and just sweep over it or add more product, like the translucent powder that I use, to mute it out. Don't worry. For eyes, I go in with a less is more approach. So I'm gonna start with the Maybelline Citi Midi palette in Rooftop Bronze. And I'm gonna take that pretty bronze gold color and put it on my eyelid with my finger. This shadow is creamy enough to use my finger, and I just blend it out with a blending brush afterwards. So I'm gonna follow up with liner. I'm gonna add back my beauty marks and moles I lost with adding foundation, and then add mascara. And remember, everything will be in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. I'm going to be adding that shadow on the inner corner and lower lash line to pull it all together before I add my lashes. So y'all know I've always loved wispies, and I used to always wear the Broadway wispies, but now I wear the 605s. They're wispy but thicker. I love these. Y'all, look at this skin. Wow. So for lips, I'm pretty simple. I'm just lining with my contour concealer. This makes for a very natural lip liner. And then I'm gonna go in with Fenty Unbottoned, and I'm gonna add a gloss on top, and I'm good to go. All right, y'all, there's the final look. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new and useful. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Jasmine Mitchell family, and I'll see you guys in my next video.